Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are.
Hmm.
You sound good.
Oh.
What's up? What's up? We're starting
Is your mic gonna blow my eardrums again?
Is it? I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
I'm sorry.
You used to be my favorite.
I see. I'm sorry.
No excuses.
Just reasons.
So what's up, guys? This is HorsePLAY Live Uncut, episode 112. Part 2 of our Beyond Graphics video game innovation and games that impact. We got SG from R9Cast here, doing a little sound check.
Yeah.
Gotta get rid of that echo.
I got echo. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I'm hearing myself. It's not too bad. But it's there. It's there. It's alright. You have echo, I have hiccups that don't want to give up.
You still hear it?
Hello? A little bit. BFT in the house.
Damn, you're so sensitive, Yogi. I don't even hear it.
Yeah, I hear it. You don't see him keying up?
Too sensitive.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Do you know? Got it?
I see what you're doing.
I'm glad. Glad you actually see what's going on here. Kayla? Hey, Kill?
Huh?
Just sit back and relax. You're about to sit backstage on one of our podcasts, so have fun.
Sounds fun.
Word. Indeed. In the meantime, make sure you guys think about games that made a huge impression on you, that impacted you in such a way that you wish there was another game.
Can I say games that gave me a boner?
Sure, that's an impact.
That's a huge impact.
A bodily impact.
On my wife.
Wow.
Alright.
Giggity. We got a couple minutes before we start.
Can we just start now? So I can... Dude,
Start?
I was gonna play American Truck Simulator afterwards tonight. And now it's like, I just want to go to bed. I'm so freaking sore right now.
You sound it.
I had all the VA testing and everything to like a recheck for my my disability, and trying to get 100%. I thought I was, but I was only 90. So trying to get that taken care of. And she poked and prodded me, man. She wouldn't. She didn't like She was sweet. She was a sweetheart. But does that hurt? Does that hurt? I'm like, yeah, bitch, that fucking hurts.
You know, it's hard to find a nurse that knows how to give shots just right. Because some of them, like, they pinch you hard, or they miss the vein, they gotta keep trying. It's like, ugh.
Half of them, I gotta do their job for them. Here, let me show you. And I just do my own.
Like, yeah, this is from the days I used to shoot heroin.
So?
Alright.
You need to shut your mouth.
Let me know when you start the stream and I'll get the music going.
Messed everything up. Now everybody knows.
Oh no. Alright. We know you're the real life Walter White. It's cool. Who's your Jesse though? That's the question.
Fucking just start the damn.
Okay.
You are listening to an All Games Radio Network broadcast of allgames.com.
Hi, this is Normie from Knuckleballer Radio and Zombie Cast, and you're listening to one of my favorite shows on the Geeky Antics Network. Don't forget to check out the rest of the gang over at geekyantics.net. Warning, there might be rants and food ahead and possibly inappropriate behavior. Don't tell anybody though.
And what's up, everybody? Geeks, gamers, ninjas, robots, girls, nerds, babies, old people, everybody else that listens to the show. What's up? It's HorsePLAY Live. Yeah, it's really bad today. Today is Thursday, February 4th. We're already in February. Holy shit. 2016, episode 112. Technically titled, I like how you put that. Beyond Graphics, Video Games and Innovatives that Innovate and Impact, Part 2.
Indeed.
Yeah. But as you guys hear in the background, of course, we all know him. The lovable, huggable. Yogizilla.
You ran out of...
I forgot.
God.
Tonight, guys, we don't have any cams. I'm not feeling very good. I'm in lots of pain. They just did about a bunch of prodding at the doctors, and I'm just not feeling the cameras. So, of course, Jedi's up, and then you guys have a little montage of Yogi moments. Drinking, sitting like he's cool, stuff like that. The Yogi. So,
whoa,
what's up, dude?
That's actually a thing.
Just watch the little reel like I got going there for you. You got one where you're like in your khakis and you're like a blue shirt and your arms crossed and you got your hand on your chin. What's up?
Oh, that one, yeah. Do you have
the toasting? You're toasting a drink.
Do you have the Godzilla Photoshop where my face is on the Godzilla?
No, I don't have that. I got him off the drive. And then you got one sitting in a black shirt with a white logo. You got a goatee and you got your glasses on. And then your Yogizilla banner. How you doing, man?
Good, I'm good. I don't know. But I want to make sure we do say at the top of the show that song, the opening song that Obi I know loves so much, is provided to us royalty-free by TechnoAxe. That's Techno with a K. Until maybe a friend of ours, maybe someone whose name rhymes with Beth Fee or
you're an idiot.
Left Fee. I don't know.
Guys, also with us,
V, maybe possibly.
Of course, like last week, guys, we're going to introduce him now and early because he's going to be a part of the show. SG from R9 Cast. Got it right, too. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
Low.
Oh, yeah.
Turn you up. Turn you up.
Okay, now we don't.
Okay. I'm back. But yeah, I was thinking about composings and stuff. So it takes a while for that stuff to.
I know.
Pour out of my brain.
You can't rush the creative process.
Yeah, Yogi, you can't just pull it right out of his ass.
It took you
I could.
It took you like a year to put together the Fire with Fire soundtrack, right?
No.
He's like, I could pull it right out of my ass. It wouldn't sound very good, but I could.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't want it to be crappy crap. So, and I'm in the middle of a soundtrack, so I'm trying to get it all done.
I'm just messing anyway.
I know.
I like the Robot Bunny opening theme. It's just kind of become our thing.
Yogi, you're an asshole, man.
No, I'm not. I was just busting chops. Bringing him back into the convo. I was paying
Yeah,
him.
like that's not. He's a guest, man.
SG knows how I roll.
You treat guests like that, man. He's never gonna. He's gonna be like, fuck that Yogi guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, beat it.
Just beat it. Beat it.
Curtis for you, see? Man, see?
You're
So-
talking to me.
So, I want to just reinforce this message throughout the show for as many episodes as I have to, but I have a copy of Dungeon of the Endless for whoever wants it. Message me on Twitter or Steam. I want to give it to someone that's really excited about the game. So,
Yay.
I'm Yogizilla everywhere. I'm pretty easy to stalk, for better or worse. But, at the top of this show, I know we usually talk about what we've been up to and whatever, but I want to say, because basically what I've been up to is playing the Division beta. I want to speak to that a little bit. Did anybody else play this?
No, can't play. Can't get in.
No, I didn't get an invite. I'm so mad.
Damn.
You know, if you would have made sure that you would have told us earlier,
It's all good. It's all good.
it's
Let's
your
get
fault
it.
for not telling us, Yogi.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now,
or
everyone
pushing the issue.
should make sure they go to the Division website and get on the waiting list, because it's going to be another beta. There has to be, because this beta was pretty much the same as the alpha. It's not bad, but they're really pulling their punches with it. Like, they have a crafting system. You can pick up the materials for crafting, but you can't do any crafting. So there's so many parts of the game that they're like holding back on, and they're kind of leaning right now really heavily on the PvP, which is not a bad thing, but I hope that it's equally as good on the PvE side, because that's something that, again, Destiny kind of makes me sad about. Nobody says there's an open beta at the end of the month. They might even do something sooner than that, just like they did with the alpha. But yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be 2 more betas before they release. I mean, we got till March 8th. Obi's making weird faces. He turned on the camera just to make weird faces at me. That's creepy. Wow, King Deem in the house.
But you see what I'm going to do next.
Oh, and BFT said, don't worry, the Division will be a watered-down third-person Destiny without a cool sci-fi setting.
Wow.
And that's the thing. I love sci-fi, and Destiny, it just falls so short. It's lazy. It's not Bungie's best work. That's my problem with it. It's a great game, but it would have been great if it was another company, not Bungie. I expect more from Bungie.
Yeah.
That's only part of it, but I won't go off on
So,
the rant.
question for you, Yogi. Now, you've played both the Division, and you've played the last one that just came out, right?
Yeah.
Which one? What is that?
Now-
Siege,
Oh, okay, yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, out of both of those, which one would you say that would, not me or nothing, because I'm probably going to end up getting both of them anyway. But like for somebody that can only get one game, which one would they get? Do they need to get, the Division or Siege? Why?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to say Siege, but that also depends what you like. The thing about Siege is that it does one thing really, really well, and that's the PvP. But terrorist hunt, that's good too. It's just actually let me step back. They do one thing really well: team-based tactical shooter. Everything's about working with a team to take care of objectives, whether it's clear out all the terrorists, disarm this bomb, defend this point, whatever it is, rescue a hostage. It's really good about that. The Division, however, I think will fill a void for what a lot of us been waiting for, is like a true open world shooter, experience. And because Destiny, when you really look at Destiny, it is that, but it's really a tiny world compared to what it could have been, and it's instance on top of that. Like, it limits how many people can be in any instance. It's weird.
So how many people can be in a group in the Division?
It's four-player squads, but you constantly see people on your map and other groups running around. So it's a world that feels very much alive.
So like anybody can shoot you, like kind of, it's just like H1Z1 and fucking the other crap survival game, right?
No, because PvP is only enabled in the Dark Zone, which is like the Wild West. You know, that's where it's a quarantine zone and anything goes. But if you start just randomly shooting people, you go rogue, and then it reveals your location in the area, and then people come after you for the bounty.
Oh, Maya.
Of course, you know, since it is a beta, everybody is like, well, I'm not going to keep my progress and no real risk to doing this. I'm just going to troll around, and everybody's just shooting everyone just because they can. I think it's going to play out very differently when it's a real game and you actually want to keep your loot and, you know, not provoke people.
Right.
So.
Well, it's definitely a game that I thought about playing because, like, and it was kind of like because so many people were talking about, oh, Siege is just so badass, and I really wanted to get it. And then everybody was starting to talk about the Division, and I'm like, man, and I started watching videos on it and gameplay on it. I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't know what to do. So
Yeah.
it's me. So, I mean, but if anybody else wants to do it, and I mean, if they're going to get it, I end up getting it when it comes out. I'll be looking for a group.
Yeah, it's a tough call. It depends really what you want. I mean, I'm a big Tom Clancy fan. I love all those games, so can't go wrong with either one. But they are very distinct, you know, games. I mean, there's some similarities. They are tactical shooters. You can't just run and gun. I mean, you could. You're gonna probably die a lot. You know, and
Right.
you can't really lone wolf either. You really have to work with your teammates. You know, but Rainbow Six Siege is more close quarters. This you have a lot more of a playing area, so we got some
Right.
Halo hype and some Halo hate in the chat. Ooh boy, King
Oh
Dean doesn't
boy.
like Halo. But you guys should
Yeah.
talk about how your week went, and I gotta get a quick bio. You're welcome for sharing that on the air.
Yeah.
SG, how was your week? Tell us something fun. Share an anecdote.
Uh, an anecdote. Let's see. I have no anecdotes. Oh yes, I do. No, I don't. I've just been uh, uh chilling in the studio. Oh, actually, I went down to Miami to record a vocalist and a guitarist. Is that an anecdote? That's not really anything. It's just a
Not
thing you
really,
do.
no.
Yeah, it's nothing. Just everyday stuff. Nothing special. Working on new tracks on the OST, the Junkie T. I explain this stuff on the R9cast, but I'll let you guys know about it later if you care. But yeah, we got stuff going on. Did I play any games? I'm thinking. Oh, I played the Baba Yaga Tomb Raider stuff, which was pretty good, but it was short. It should have been part of the main game, but it wasn't, and that's kind of
Right.
messed up. And it was $10, and I was like, it was good, but nah, $10. No, it
Yeah,
wasn't.
I got some extra, like some Steam, some Best Buy cards still from Christmas that I'm gonna get some Steam cards and get a few more games and get more copies of like the games that I like to play more. Because I just give them away
Oh,
to people
true.
that want to play them.
Yeah.
Like right now we're the last 2 or 3 days we've been actually 2 days we've been hard into the American Truck Simulator. Actually a day and a half, really.
So
And
how is that though? Because I mean, I've
well,
heard of the Euro Truck Simulator. I'm just like, what's the
well,
what's the
if you're
difference?
if you're like it's a simulator game, so I mean
Yeah.
if you have the patience for that and you're like I play Farm Simulator all the time. Yeah, I just like it. I just enjoy it. It's relaxing to me. Um, and just there are a few people that that play with me. So, and we play Truck Simulator. We play like we got like a Sid Meier's Railroad. It was like $2 or some shit like that, and get a bunch of people together and play that, and just multiplayer games that everybody likes to play. Ramping up on it hard,
True.
and of
Word.
course, I do want to make an announcement to everybody before we get let you guys know what's on the show tonight. Um, in the Gems of War clan, Liam is no more. We deleted his account, and but the one that's gonna be playing, and I'm gonna be playing it on the stream, is the Troll Fighter. So if you guys know who that is, that's actually me. I've been playing on the iPad with my wife. We've been getting a whole bunch of decks and troops dealed up. So I'm gonna start streaming that. Before, in the beginning of the stream. So tonight on the show, guys, in the news, we're gonna revisit an old friend. Lol.
I'm back.
Here.
I'm back, by the way.
I know you are.
In case you missed me.
No, not really. But Gems of War is getting some major changes on Xbox One. But stay tuned, guys. That'll be in the obligatory news. A new show has launched, and we have some hotlines you can call or text. Oh, don't forget those iTunes reviews. We want them, guys. Send us some. We're revisiting Tech Talk again. Yeah, looking at fads, trends, and whatever changes need to push the gaming industry, technologies forward in ways that really kind of matter to us. And we're going to discuss some video games that have impacted us and what we can learn from them as gamers and game developers alike. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of stuffy today. Makes my voice really deep, though.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of sound sexy today. I don't know. But before we get... Yeah, that was... Yeah, you got to move that.
Well, yeah, you're not going by the script. You're ad-libbing, so that's your fault.
No. I'm supposed to say all that and then introduce you? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, just to get it out on the top of the show.
Man, he wants me to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
before we get into all this fun ahead, guys, I'm joined by someone.
A little late for that now.
Someone you might know. His name is SG from R9Cast.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the Yogizilla guy, too.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Did we just go back in time? Did we go into a wormhole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody's in the house. Robbie, he's been hitting the Elder Scrolls Online hard with me.
Mm-hmm. But as we're back on track now. By the way, guys, if you guys are new to the show or if you haven't been here in a while, welcome to the party. Because it's crazy. So
double.
You guys like crazy parties that are woo woo, yeah. But this is the place to be. HorsePLAY Live is where geeks come to play, and I don't even say we want to play first. We get in trouble first, and then we play. I think that's how it works most of the time with Yogi, anyway. Yeah. But we are the flagship talk radio show for Geeky Antics Network in collaboration with AllGames.com. Our show covers all the aspects of geek culture with a special focus on indie and strategy games, technologies, rants, issues geeks face, while gaming, of course, and of course community events that we try to put on or we be a part of. Did I mention we rant? No.
A little bit.
No, not. We don't really rant that much, do we?
Maybe a smidge.
Yeah, a smidge.
Yeah.
We even talk about food, guys. And on occasion, we will get into some retro and tabletop gaming as well. And the food, it's just because sometimes at about midnight, we all get kind of hungry, so we start talking about, what we had for lunch or, whatever.
Yes.
Like the Food Network. Yogi, tell everybody a little bit more about the show, man.
So, we're a late night show. We're live and uncut. We're mostly unscripted. And when I do make a script, there'll be like some little structure. He decides to just do what he wants anyway. Jeez. The crazy things may happen. We may say something offensive. We may fart on air. It's all in good fun. So keep an open mind. Have fun with us. Because, this is HorsePLAY. With a name like that, you got to expect shenanigans. And skullduggery. I like the word skullduggery.
Skullfuckery? Is that what you said?
No, skullduggery. I guess skullfuckery in some places.
Well, if we hurt your feelings, take the latter. Take the skullfuckery and just get over it. Don't forget, guys, geeks, gamers, all you crazy people that watch this, and listen to it. Horseplay Live is everywhere Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific on Twitch channels Geeky Antics and simulcast it over there on Yogizilla. Horseplay Live replay is also available on Thursdays around 5 p.m. on allgames.com. You guys go to All Games live or chat button about 5 p.m. It'll really help us out too.
.com.
Yeah. I really don't have any rants today. I'm too sore to be ready to rant. I could rant about my dog, how loud she freaking drinks, but kind of. She get dogs thing.
That's a bully breed thing, and does she get a lot of the slobber next to her bowl?
No. She doesn't get. It's not a slobber. She just. God, it irritates me. Just saying. It does. Guys, we're gonna get right into it because we're just feeding dead air through our asses.
No,
we're gonna get right into the obligatory news and rants.
Ding.
Yeah.
So, first off, we got two shows we want to talk about. There's a new show. It's launched called Podcast AF. Podcast as fuck. It's got Metric Methods, Robbie Hondro, and Pete X Jr. Some of the folks from the Worst Radio Show crew. It's kind of like a little spin-off. And in their first episode, they talk about a division. They talk about it more from the PS4 perspective.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I said. But like they were saying, there were a lot of people having issues. Like people were cheating, shooting through walls, like wall hacking, and all this weird stuff. I'm like, I didn't experience any of that on Xbox One. The only thing I got was like sometimes if I got all bloodied up, my screen would stay red even after I took a med kit, and everything just have like a red tint to it. But that's about it. And yeah, and then the party chat messing up. That's about it.
I thought that the hacking stuff was only on PC. I didn't think it was on PS4, but
that's what I thought. But that's their great network. Yeah, on PC, forget it. Like, the moment a game hits the market, even if it's a beta, there's already hacks for it. Crazy. But we have another show coming up. It's the new TSD. Not the Sunday Dose.
No, it's not the new TSD. They can't have those letters like that. That's mine.
That's what they're calling it. You have to take it up with Sean and gang.
I will.
It's called the Social Dozen. And I'll be on there on week 4 with Chip, Matt Bradford, Chip Sella, aka Captain Chaos, and Imes, Sean Imes. Sean Imes Fuller. You may know some of these names if you listen to enough podcasts. You definitely know them if you listen to enough podcasts. But yeah, it's a rotating host, 4 hosts a week from a total of 13. It's a baker's dozen. So different hosts each week. So that way, if someone calls out, there'll always be backups. So it's kind of it's a good model. People are flaky. People will call out sick for anything. But you can leave us voicemail and text about interesting things you find on social media, trends, things that happen in your life, anything. It's all about being social, bringing the social back to social media. The voicemail line is 201-762-4256. Again, 201-762-4256. And yes, that is a Jersey number because Normie, she's very excited about that. She set that up. So make her happy, make her day, and leave some voicemail there. And on our side, we have the Geeky Antics hotline for all our shows, particularly this show right here that you're listening to. That's 646-801-2149. 646-801-2149. Leave us voicemail or text us there. But yeah, enough with plugs. Gems of War on Xbox One is finally getting the major update that we got on the PC, Steam, Android, iOS side. Basically everything else but Xbox One. And they're finally doing the different keys, where they break down the one iron key turns into one glory key, one event key, one blah, 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 whatever it is. Reduced chest costs so you could open up more chests effectively. Bulk opening. This is what they confirmed. Now, what they haven't confirmed is if there will be synergies with different troop types, and if we'll see troop traits, passives, or the ascension system. I have mixed feelings about it because I kind of liked the simplified approach on Xbox One, but it would be nice to see more synergies so you could switch things up a little bit. If you play the Xbox One version, all your troops feel very underpowered, and then especially when you switch them between both versions, like, man, my team here is OP, and then I play in the Xbox One version, like, this is a long battle. You're not doing damage, really, but we'll see what happens there. Doom just confirmed the release date, May 13th, 2016. So, excited about that. I know a lot of people don't have it on their radar, but I'm super excited about it. It's one of the few games I plan to get. Well, one of the few major releases I plan to get this year.
Wait, it's coming out in May, and that's before E3.
Yay!
Yeah.
So because they're supposed to have a press conference they announced recently, but not Bethesda. Yeah, Bethesda. Right? Yeah. So
what will they announce there, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought they might, if it was coming out after, then it'd be like, oh, guess what? Doom's out today, bam. But I guess not. So, but that first what they showed last year, man, that looked so good. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's some PC power right there, though. That's not that PS4. I'm sorry, you can't. Nope.
Yeah,
nope.
I'm fine if the graphics are scaled back. I just want the gameplay, son.
No, man. PC Master Race.
I mean, my PC can handle the full version, but I want that multiplayer experience. Like, I want to see Doom on console, like, done right. That excites me, man. And it looks like they took it back to the roots, like that fast-paced action. Oof. And they threw in, like, a little bit of that like, Bulletstorm flavor, like, that arcade style kind of, it felt like watching Bulletstorm in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the way you do all these little combos, it's intense, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm interested. Definitely.
It's gonna be fun, and you can make your own maps too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And PFT's like, Doom is PC at its roots, and it is. Yeah. I mean, that's. It started on the PC, and that's where it's gonna be best. But I want to kind of be the ambassador for this on consoles, so people could see the shooter that arguably started it all. Like, I would say Doom and like Tribes inspired, or an Unreal Tournament inspired a lot of the shooters today. And ever since then, everyone's pretty much been biting and not giving credit where it's due. The same.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's been a few kind of touchstones, I guess you can call it. I mean, you're right. PC, the Doom, and all the others, Unreal. But then when Halo came out on console, it was a jump off. And then when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out, that was the second jump off, the second coming of the console shooter, I guess. So, but PC shooters have always been kind of the roots, the big brother looking over the shoulder of the little console brother.
Yeah. I buy that. Halo, say what you want about Halo or Call of Duty, folks, but they definitely brought awareness to what shooters can be. They broke the mold. So no matter what those series have become, they definitely need to get credit for that as well. So for those that missed it, the Division beta was extended for another 24 hours. Unfortunately, it wasn't extended for a full week. And they apologized. They even sent a whole blast out. They were like, unprecedented demand, and they wish more people could play. But there's gonna be more beta sessions, so stay tuned for that. I think they might do something mid-February, even before end of the month. But we'll see. And again, like I said, they limited a lot of what you could do in the game, so they need to open it up. Let us see more. Steam Link. A lot of people have been talking about Steam Link, at least in my circles of friends, and they're getting good reviews on it. Steam Link is a nice little device. I forget what it retails for exactly, but I think it's like under $50. And if you want to invest in a controller, that's compatible with it, you can enjoy Steam games in any room, virtually lag-free. I've heard good things about people doing it on Wi-Fi. Of course, I always say if the option's available to hardwire, that's always better. But the fact that Wi-Fi is serviceable, that's pretty cool. You can bring Steam anywhere you want, so that's pretty sweet. I like that. I might consider one just to test it out. Be neat. It's something, because Steam machines aren't working out, sadly.
Steam machine, that's funny.
Yeah, they had a lot of potential with that. Like, they should have made it an open platform, and make it a console that's modular and accessible to make PC gaming less elitist and more friendly for console gamers. That's what it should have been.
Yeah, there's the only way to make a Steam machine. It's either a console or a PC. If you make a Steam machine, it's ultimately going to be a PC. And I think the flaw in this, not so much the flaw in the Steam machine concept, it's just everyone's in the mindset of this is how a PC should be, and it's been the same form factor for 30 years. But now with all these little mini PCs coming out, with the Raspberry Pi and stuff, I think it's gonna start changing a little bit as far as the form factor. And once that kind of blows open and everyone is accepting of something other than a tower being a serious PC, gaming PC,
yeah,
then something like the Steam machine concept can work, where you have a little bit of different form factor, and you could open it up and plug in just a regular PCI card, whatever it looks like 10 years from now, and it'll work. It's still going to be a PC. It's just going to have ports you can plug into stuff.
Yeah, but you're talking about the how it's received by PC gamers. This is not for the PC gamers. I mean, it might be for the PC gamer that doesn't feel like building another computer and wants to put a gaming PC somewhere else in their house. But it's really for the console gamers that have always felt that PC gaming is too expensive and wanted to play all the games that don't come out on console. Yeah. That's the real problem with PC gaming, is that you hear people, like, I don't know if you keep up with VGO, but like Michelle, she's always like, you got to spend like $1 kajillion to get a gaming PC if you want to do it right. And I'm like, no. And people always give that kind of advice, and it's bad, because really in this day and age, $500 straight up, you get a computer that can play most of today's games. They won't play in ultra settings.
I don't know about that.
I priced it out on PC Part Finder.
Of course.
500 to 800, you can build a nice computer that's upgradable, and will last you a few years.
My next computer, if I get what I want, it's gonna be about 1,500. But I'm getting some huge, like, dual graphics cards. A huge, I need an oversized case for it. It's got to be custom made.
When are you gonna get that? When you plan on getting that one?
Within the next 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I know it's pretty far away, but I just got this one, so.
Right, but that's a high-end computer. Like, a mid-range computer doesn't cost that much.
Yeah. But I mean, do you want if you're gonna go for mid-range, you might as well just get a console, because that's pretty much what's happening now. And I know it's not. It's more on the developers and not so much the hardware, because you get an Ultra PC, you could push way more than what the consoles can do, but the developers aren't. I think, except for the Division, because you see the difference between the PC version and the console versions. I'm like, man, I wish I had a PC that could play that, because the PC version of Division looks bananas. I'm like, wow, look at them piles of garbage. Look at them graphics. And then I look at the console version. I'm like, oh, it's just some paper on the side. It's not even as good. But yeah.
Well, there's some key differences too, because you can make the argument, well, if you're gonna spend that much, why not just get a console? The difference is you could upgrade your PC and it'll last you much longer than a console will. It'll still be relevant years down the road.
Yeah,
and that spending the same amount that you would on a console, you can still do more with that PC, way more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the ultimate argument, but
and the games are cheaper.
I mean, I think if you're going 500 or even 600, I mean, closer to 800, you'd see a great difference. But like you said, you have to upgrade. That costs more, and you still won't be at the tippy top. And I think that's like, if you're gonna go in on PC, you gotta go in, and that's what Michelle's mentality. And I guess that's what you're gonna do. Ob is just max it out.
Well, and then you got to think about what you're doing with it. Like my PC is my base of operations. No matter if I get an Xbox, if I get a PS4, no matter what I get, I can plug it into my PC and stream from my PC. As long as it's tip-top shape, and it might cost like it would cost if I were to go out and just buy it. It'd be $1,500 to $1,700 computer, $1,500 to $2,000. I already have. We're already looking at some of the motherboards are going to be coming out in the next year or so. We're going to be getting some beast. Like I'm going to have 3 different cooling systems in that thing.
Oh wow! It's got you got like liquid and then I don't know.
Fans and it's got to be a custom made box, a custom made case. We're going to do a plexi. And it's gonna be fucking nice.
Is it gonna like transform and like do your laundry and stuff? I mean,
yes, that is gonna be one of the side missions.
Is it tuck you in at night? Good night, Obi. Thank you, computer.
Oh man, but we actually had a extensive discussion about this, the economy of gaming, and we compared the prices. The console gaming and PC gaming are pretty much on par with each other price-wise. In fact, the total cost of ownership of a PC is cheaper than console. The only benefit now to console is you go there because where your friends are, and it's an easy out-of-the-box experience, and it's uniform. Yeah. That's the key. It's not a money issue anymore. And and I get, as someone that worked many years in IT, when people go, oh, you have to spend this much to really go all in a PC game, I want to slap people. Because I used to build networks. Before 2 World Trade Center went down, I used to build all their IDFs, their all their like back to server rooms, all that stuff. I know how web clusters work, how server farms work, all that stuff. I know how much you need. The thing is, people look at an out-of-box experience, and they don't know how to get the most out of a computer, so they just throw money at it. So the reason they're spending $1,500, $2,000 because they don't know how to tweak the settings and get the most out of the games. But I'm telling you, $500 to $800, you have a decent computer, and then you can just upgrade it little by little if you want to get the max settings. But someone that wants to just go into PC gaming and get a better experience than console doesn't have to go all in like that, and they can still have an investment that they could build organically. With a console, you get what you get. There's no upgrades really. You're done. You want to upgrade it, buy the new version of the console.
Yeah, and I think I guess the last thing on this is that the consoles are always a step behind. Well, I think this generation specifically, but I think last generation they were right on par or maybe a little bit ahead. But the PC, well, I can't say that, but I'll say on par. But they quickly fell behind.
What's the average generation of a console?
Now it's
with 360 PS3.
No.
Yeah, that's average is probably 6 years.
6 years,
taking into account last generation.
Right. So then you can play your games, and you can do this for about 6 years, and until it's time to have another one, right? Give it 6 months, and your PC is half out of the loop.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and that's what
the time frame of what progresses, how fast.
And I think it's speeding up more now.
A 6-year computer. You know how old and outdated that would be?
I think I have a 6-year computer. Well, I had one, it died. But I mean, my point is that like the 4K or the ultra wide settings and stuff that are emerging, and everybody's Michelle is talking about it, a lot of people are talking about it, and I went on YouTube and I was like, let me look at these fools. They got the super PC set up for 2016. I look at, I'm like, man, they got these setups with 240-inch screens with I'm like, what? It's so pretty, and I'm like, wow. And and that's just like, you can't do that on a Xbox One. You can't do that on a PS4. It's impossible. So it's just it's a little bit of a different world. But you know, like you said, Obi, it's more than just games, and that's one thing that people overlook when you're talking about PC versus console, and why a lot of gamers prefer PC, because they're not just playing games, they're doing all kind of stuff. They're making a living on their PC. So you know, you gotta put in, you gotta invest in that stuff, man. It's all good.
Right. Well, and you know, and like Yogi said earlier, I mean, a lot of people are just getting the consoles because of what? Because it's friends and it's really easily accessible. Now, I wouldn't care about the easy access because it's going to be at my PC anyway. But it would be something that I want to get on there and play games with friends that have the games. You know, because not everybody, a lot of people that I know and that are from the gang, from Geeky Antics, they all play Xbox.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. And I'm like, damn, I wish I could go and play with those guys. Like all the Nipples of Fate guys. They're all Xbox guys. You know? And that's why I can't do anything with them, because a lot of them are Xbox. So, you know, just to have that. But, if you don't want to deal with all the pricing and putting it together or buying it out of the box, make sure you have upgrades, blah, 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 blah. Your console is the best way to go. We've had this war before, and I think PC still won. So, just play it first.
Yeah. One last thing. I think the PC side is also it's a certain type of person, like someone who likes to tinker, like guys who are into cars and like, I'm gonna get a carburetor, or I'm gonna put a Super Flowmax engine. Flowmax. Anyway, you know, it's more.
Maxi pads now?
No, I was thinking about Flowmaster, and I said Flowmax. Yeah, I know. But Flowmaster, you know, the good. You get the, you know, get all that stuff. You know, it's like car guys, or it's like guys who like to build furniture, like that. Yeah. So you know, I kind of have that bug because I like to take stuff apart and look inside and stuff, but I usually end at the taking apart stuff and I never put it back together. So I'm not the best person to tinker with the PC, but I understand that mentality of building and making it better and messing with it and stuff. So
right,
yeah,
well,
it's definitely
and I'm not even
mindset.
a guy that likes to do that either. I hate taking apart my I take it apart to clean it enough to clean it. Like I'll take the RAM out because I know how to put it back. You know, I take the video card out and clean it because I know how to put it back. But anything else in there, I bring it to a friend and he does all that shit. Just because, but I love PC gaming. I love what you can do with it, with the like the streaming and the content you can create with a PC. Is just, and that's what I want to eventually do. In a way that I can create my content. That's all I want to do.
It's the Wild West in your house.
Well, I mean, there's things that are coming up. Like eventually, everybody will start seeing Fifi and a lot of her Gems of War games and some of the troops. Like if she could have recorded it, she would have. But she had a 3-hour match the other day.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was Goblin Troop versus Goblin Troop.
Oh boy.
Yeah. She said she got hers up to, the other guy started at almost 100. She got hers up to 379, and he got his up to almost 1,000, and she almost beat him. It was, holy crap.
That's when he true damage. Then all that armor doesn't matter.
Yep.
I guess I gotta play that game.
You do.
It's a fun game, man. You know, people look at it, oh, it's a match 3 game. They're like, pfft. But it's got a lot of depth to it.
Not just a match 3 game. I mean, I'm me, and I even like it. I do. It was it's, I don't know, one of those games.
It's just one of them games? Okay. Sorry, I was going to sing a song, but I won't go there. But Obi, one last bit of thing in the news. We got a few deals, some shout-outs, and then we're going to talk some more tech and gaming. But this last news bit, League of Legends going through a lot of changes. They got, I don't know if you guys noticed, but they have a League of Legends community podcast now. It's about 6-7 episodes in. And in the latest episode, they were talking about changes to Champion Select and Team Builder. And they talk about some of the philosophies, design logic behind the decisions they made. And one of the biggest things that we always talked about from the beginning of this show, one of the reasons there's so much toxicity is because people don't get to play the role that they want. And then they get mad at the person that plays the role that they wanted to play, the position they wanted to be in, and they don't do as well as they think they could.
And then they troll the whole fucking game.
Yes. So they're addressing that by doing things like the dynamic queue and being able to choose your role right beforehand. What do you think about these changes, OB?
Well, I recently, like I said before, I've been getting on and doing some stuff like with Doc and some bitch, what's the damn clan name? Cerberus Assault over in the EU, and then I've been playing a little bit over here with some of the gang members, and I like it, actually, that I can just go in and I don't have to fight for some dumbass that's with his friend, or some shit, and then make me play something I really don't want to.
Yep.
Or make me play a champion, like they banned, my 3 support champions I like the most. They banned Nautilus, Thresh, and Blitzcrank. Like, who am I going to fucking play now? That's all I play.
They got rid of the captain having all the power.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm on a game and I'm with somebody, like if somebody's going to jungle or I have an ADC and we have a jungler or something like that, or a mid or something like that, and we do start playing some games, then I can, make sure I can get one of my picks.
It makes me want to play the game more, I'll tell you that.
Well, I will be on it tomorrow, actually, if you would like to jump on at some point.
We'll go back to our roots. I remember when people used to say, people used to listen to our podcast, and from like just a couple episodes that they happened to tune into, like a few minutes, they were like, "Oh yeah, they're a League of Legends podcast, and they talk about PC gaming too." I'm like, "We're so much more than that."
Yeah. If depending on what happens, I might play a little couple tonight. But I've been like, I played 1 live match, or 2 live matches this whole time. Like I played spots, trying to just get my, I was playing some ADC the other day, which in a bot match, you can't really set anything up or play the right way. It's just a push and win. That's all it is.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Anyway, folks, some quick deals and freebies, and here on today's deals for cheap bastards. Again, Desert of the Endless. You want it? Message me, Yogizilla, on Twitter and Steam.
You don't mean it, guys. I've been messaging it in for 3 weeks.
You don't really want it, do you?
I guess not.
Do you really want? Okay.
No, I don't.
Oh, but don't be like that. Maybe I'll get an extra copy and then I'll give you one. And
I'm being like that.
It's a really good game. So all right, we'll figure it out then. But yeah, I don't know. Did we even mention, like, we kind of just glanced over the whole thing with David Bowie and Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
But I know it's late, but it still boggles my. It's just crazy. They both died at the same age, at the same causes.
Illuminati.
Yeah, right. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Hey, I'm just saying.
But
I've been looking at some stuff about like Robin Williams, and hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah. We won't go there.
Oh yes, we are.
The slippery slope. But in memory of David Bowie, Omicron, the Nomad Soul, it's a 1999 game from Square Enix, is free to download now in the Square Enix store. So make sure you pick that up. I never really played it. I've seen people play it. It looks kind of crazy. It looks like kind of like, I don't know, cyberpunkish. It's pretty wild. But then again, if you've seen Labyrinth, then you know what to expect from David Bowie. It's, Ziggy Stardust type stuff. I was like, wow, his stuff is always out there. So that's kind of what I like. It's trippy. It's like, am I high? How did I get high? Is this the real life? Where am I?
Like, I'd be like, I ain't even taking nothing. I'm fucked up. What the hell?
Dude, like, I used to like watching the Beatles' Yellow Submarine cartoon. I don't know why. I always liked that thing. It made no sense whatsoever, but I always loved watching that. Like, I'm like, what were these guys thinking?
Some of them, yeah. Some of them, they're really, really, wow, off
Wait.
the wall.
Well, you know, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. You know what that is, right? Talking about LSD Trip. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
I know. I said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry. Sorry.
I'm trying to do a treasure map. Can you leave me alone?
Okay, enjoy your treasure map. Wait, good callback.
I'm just kidding.
But hey, taking it back to the old school, if you never played Unreal Tournament and want to know what the hype is all about, it's an updated version of the game now, and it's free. So you can download that, Google it or Bing it, you can find it. Tribes Ascend from High Res Studios is still going strong after about 4 years of being out. So check that out. Again, these are like some of the grandfathers, you could say. These series were kind of gave birth to a lot of today's modern shooters. And just reinforcing this, Amazon Prime. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you have another reason to get excited. 20% off video game pre-orders. If you didn't get the memo, yes.
Oh, I got the memo.
Yeah. They kind of stuck it in there. Because I found out I was surprised, like, because they don't even, like, they update your shopping cart if you have pre-orders. Like, they have the best price guarantee, but you don't always see it when you just look at the overview. You have to, like, click into it and, like, oh, updated price. Yes.
Right.
So.
I love, dude, I have nothing bad ever to say about Amazon Prime. You get a chance to get it.
Yeah, I don't even do
still worth it.
As much shopping as the average person does, and it still pays for itself like tenfold.
Like, it's so worth it.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
But some shout-outs, folks. We haven't done shout-outs in the past few weeks. I want to shout out Tangent Bound Network. Expect some mashup shows and crossovers eventually. Keep talking about the UCL, Unified Combat League. We're about a month away from a major announcement, but if you're into like MMA and competitive gaming, esports, stuff like that, go give it a visit at unifiedcombatleague.com and keep an eye out for new updates. Also, they have a Facebook page as well. Horrible Gamers is now part of the All Games family, so congrats to Imes and Jesus on that. And as always, if you want to support our network, help us keep the light on, and do cool things like giveaways and whatnot, you know, there's ways to support us. Just go over to geekyantics.net/sponsors or geekyantics.net/donate. Just go to geekyantics.net. You know, click around. There's things there. There's, you know, advertisements that help us, you know, subsidize things. There's offers and forums and messaging. It's all kinds of stuff to check out. So go exploring. It's a pretty cool site. I know it looks a little janky, a little dated. That's kind of deliberate. And that's also because I'm lazy. And that's all the shout-outs on my side. Do you have any shout-outs today, Obi?
Nope.
All right.
No, I do. I do want to... Actually, I don't. Actually, yes, I do. I do want to shout out my co-host, my new co-host on the Sunday Dose. This is the real TSD, the Sunday Dose on Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on Geeky Antics with Morgana Freya. We got some exciting stuff we're going to start. I still got to talk to her about it. I think she's going to like it, but we're going to have some fun next show. 21st. But yes, Morgana Freya. That's my shout out for the day. Yeah. Good talk.
Yeah, good talk.
You there?
I'm here.
I think Yogi died.
Yeah, I think his computer ate him, or his boo-boo cat or something. I don't know. Something happened.
I don't know what's that. Whatever. But SG's here. Everybody's here.
Hi.
I don't even know where he was at. I was trying to follow along, but it just didn't work.
I think that was just the shout outs and
shout outs
and stuff. I don't have the doc. But I got some shout outs. I want to shout out geekyantics.net. I want to shout out.
I've heard of them before.
Yeah, they're all right. I want to shout out HorsePLAY, because, you know, HorsePLAY, you got PlayStation, you got Playground, play horse. You can play horse. You have a basketball hoop and a couple of people. Or you can play horse by yourself if you want, if you're lonely. A whole bunch of things. Yeah.
What? What did I miss?
You missed a whole bunch, dude. It was funny and shit. Okay, we can get back to business now. You'll have to listen on the podcast.
I know, it's good. I do re-listen to the shows too, because there's always stuff that I end up missing somehow.
There's a lot of things that you end up missing.
Let me tell you, when I drink lots of water, I swear I feel like a baby with a little tiny bladder, man. I know, Blue. I agree.
Hey, there's Blue.
Yeah, she's like meow meow. She wants to be part of the podcast.
There's always Blue.
Not always. Just
Always.
2 out of 5 shows or so. Okay, maybe 3 out of 5. Anyway, so what are we up to? What did I miss?
4.5 out of 5. I was just letting everybody know that. Don't forget, guys, to help us out and support one of the oldest podcast networks out there. It's where we play our HorsePLAY live over on allgames.com around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. GMT. It's an easy way to support the show, and it really helps us out, and it really doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you a damn dime. You can put us up, put us in the background, mute us, then go back 20 minutes later and shut it off. We don't care, but that would really help us out. Mm-hmm. Yogi? Yeah.
We're ready to move along. Now we were gonna talk more about the future of technology, kind of get more into that, but we kind of talk about at the top of the show. We touched upon the direction of how fast PC gaming is moving, and that's true. But at the same time, I feel like with PC gaming, they still, as they push forward, they still keep the common denominator in mind. You only yes, quickie. So you don't want to get too deep into it, but I think the only way people feel the only way people feel like they have to really upgrade is if they want the max settings.
Go deep.
Oh,
I want to give you the max settings. Yeah, max.
Going in hot, sweetheart.
Well, SG mentioned the whole 20:9 aspect ratio, and I think
21:9.
21:9.
Excuse me.
Sorry. 21:9.
Get it right, dude.
My bad. But and I think it's cool. But again, it goes back to what we were talking about. That like these things are nice, and yeah, extra field of vision is cool. But there's also there's a bad side people don't want to talk about. The people that don't have that wide format are missing out on that field of vision, and it gives people with a better hardware an advantage. That's like I want to see the core experience improved first, and then let it plateau a little bit as far as the hardware goes before we start pushing all these things.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the trend going forward is that 21:9 might become part of the standard, like how 720 was the first HD. Now 1080p is true HD or full HD or whatever. Now 4K is UHD or SUHD or whatever the heck they calling it. So 21:9 it might be what 1080p is to today. 5 years from now, 21:9 might be just, oh, you got 21:9. I got 35:2, or I don't know what's going to be by then. But I think it might go that way if enough like developers and I don't know. It's really about the TV manufacturers. Honestly, it's not really about PC side. So if TV goes 21:9, that's where everybody else is going to follow.
I don't know, because look how long it took TV content to catch up with 720 and 1080p. They're still catching up. There's still places that don't offer full 1080 content.
No, well, I'm not talking about like the stations or providers. I'm talking about the manufacturers. If Sony and Samsung and all these guys, they make, they're already making widescreens and they're making UHDs, 4K and stuff. all you gotta do is change the aspect ratio. They change it from, well, some of them are wider, but if they change from 16:9, which is a standard, to 21:9, and everybody changes it, and no, like, you know, there's no SD TVs out there anymore. I mean, I can't find a tube TV for nothing. So that's done. So everything's 16:9. Everything is usually 1080p. You might be able to find a 720p screen out there, but I highly doubt it. I mean, there might be out there somewhere, but they're hard to find. So, you know, moving forward, once that if it happens, which would be cool, because I kind of like how it looks, but you know, it's just evolution.
I mean, I honestly feel like the PC market is actually pushing it, and then when the TV manufacturers see the trends, they're like, let's jump on that bandwagon and bring it to a wider market. That's what I've been seeing. Yeah. You know, in the past decade at least, you know, because the content isn't really there on unless you're doing gaming. Let's be honest. But
it's not there. Yeah.
The flip side of this too is there is such a thing as too much detail. It's another thing people don't want to talk about. Yes, there is. Right,
no, but that's, you talk about like the porno peoples and the girls be like, yo man, I can't, you can't be putting that camera all up on my stuff. You know, I got this, you know, and then they got to go and fix it and post and
that's
premiere
true.
And stuff.
That's true too. I wasn't even thinking about that side, because like, remember when things went first HD, started seeing like, whoa, they got wrinkles. Oh man, they're not as, but like, there's another side, like on a gaming side. Let's talk more about the gaming side.
Oh, okay.
Rainbow Six Siege. I'm using Rainbow Six Siege as an example. If you play on ultra settings, which I could do on my computer, did not cost $1,500, by the way. All right. It looks beautiful. Oh wow, I got ambient occlusion and all this grass is like animated and stuff. Cool. Damn, but I'm actually at a disadvantage playing against people that are playing at lower settings, because they can see me hiding in a bush because they're playing a low setting and it doesn't render it as detailed.
Oh, right.
So there's a lot of places where that happens. People talk about that, you know. So,
well, when you're playing competitive, you know, I mean, you use whatever edge you can get, right? So if you turn off all your settings, you get more frames per second. You know, you got it's just that's a whole different thing. If you're just looking for performance, that's one thing. But if you're playing competitive, then it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, well, performance I'd have put on a whole different arena than you know, super ultra visuals, because they don't always go hand in hand. You know? It's hard to get both of those to line up. But you know, and it's funny too, because a lot of people that have these beast computers, what's the game they end up playing? CS:GO or League of Legends, which are not really resource intensive.
I resent
that. I'm just saying, like, it's like, hey, I got this beast $4,000 computer. What are you playing? Super Mario Brothers. I got the NES emulator.
Dude, man, I'm playing Minecraft at 300 frames per second. So good. I got all the chunks. All my chunks are loading all the time. No chunks.
I can see all the block physics. Look at all the particle effects. You know, so it just goes to show, though, that we're at a point like that when people get into the comparing specs, it's just penis size comparison. But what it really comes down to is, I think we're really deep down inside. We don't want to admit it to stuff, but we're looking for something fresh outside of the hardware. We're looking for that hotness, you know. And we're not. And a lot of these hardware changes are gimmicks at the end of the day. Like, watch the next thing. You know, all this stuff about wearable tech, right? Google Glass and you know, the VR headsets and you know smart watches and whatever. This is stuff for people to throw money at, and of course, the more people throw money at that stuff because they got, you know, disposable income, the more those things become standardized. You know. Yeah. But the next thing's gonna happen. We're gonna see chair tech. That's gonna be the next thing. It's gonna be like $1,200 chairs. This is the DX Racer EX. This one jiggles your balls. It wiggles. It gyrates. It farts. And it. I don't know. It touches your taint. I don't know. It's gonna have some kind of feature set, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, it does all of that." It's got not 2, not 3, but 4 cup holders. You know, and people are gonna be like, take my money here.
Well, hey, you gotta have your hot, and you gotta have your cold, and then maybe have some chips in the other one, and then extra one just in case. 4 is about right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, like, that's cool on the surface, But I want that stuff to come after they like really get the games right, because there's still a lot of buggy shit out there. This game's underperforming. There's a lot of BS out there, and I'm gonna go back to what we said, last week. We're kind of becoming apologetic for video games. It's kind of like, this game is visually stunning. Oh, what a great story! But people are not talking about the gameplay. It's like, all right, but what about the gameplay? It was visually stunning. It's like, what is this movie? Are we judging movies now? Like, why are we?
That's like Battlefront. I mean, sorry to cut you off, but I mean, Battlefront looks gorgeous. I'm like, wow, that's so gorgeous. Look at that. It looks like Star Wars, and it sounds like Star Wars. It's Star Wars. But I'm like, that's so boring. It's kind of cool to watch, but I was watching. I was like, and I played it. I played the whatever beta it was, and that's so boring. I was like, this is the most this is the most basic game. You heard the basic bitches. This is a basic bitch of a game. I was like, man, this is. Oof, but it looks pretty, but I can't play this, and I never bought it, and that's what it is. So yeah, I agree with you, man. You gotta go beyond the graphics. So all the graphics holes out there, PS4 guys usually, because
they're looking for something to hang on to. That's really what it comes down to. It's like, I spent this much on my computer, or I spent this much on my console. Oh, my console could do this, yours can't. Like, but are you having fun with it? Like, what are you playing on it? Like, that's they're overcompensating. That's what I think comes down to, and it's sad. Yeah. We're making it easy by throwing money at all these gimmicks. We're making it easy for developers and manufacturers to just be like, I'm not gonna bother to come up with something new. I'm just gonna one up. Everything's gonna be the one up game. This is slightly better graphics. This is a slightly higher polygon count. Oh, now you get to put this helmet on your head and you get to see. It's a TV, but now it's a TV that sits on your face. You know.
Well, I mean, I think is there a gray area between gimmick and innovation? Because I'm thinking about VR and AR and even whether it's new gameplay systems or even graphics to an extent, because there is value in super nice, pretty graphics. But like we just said, it's not just about that. It's part of a whole equation that needs to be correct. But like I still think that VR is a gimmick more than it is an innovation, because it's 20 years old, 20 something years old.
Yep.
So it's not a new thing. It's not a new idea. It's not a new thing. It's been done before. Now the graphics are better. That's it. Faster computers. You get a better look at those graphics all in your face, and that's fine. And I think it's cool because I thought it was cool back then, but it was really crap back then. But I don't see the innovation in it yet. I think that going down the VR road will birth innovation in different ways. And I think I said this on my show last time that I think that the more successful VR stuff will be the stuff that is self-contained, whether it's the HoloLens AR stuff or whoever else is doing AR stuff. But it has to be self-contained. It can't be tethered to a computer or a console, because that's inhibiting any type of expansion beyond just sitting in front of your TV or your what's the difference between having a VR set on your head or just looking at your TV? I mean, 3D, and you can move the camera with your head. That's pretty much it. So, yay! And I still think it's cool, but it's not. I mean, I'm not gonna buy one because it's gonna be too much money. But I'm looking forward to when things are, when the whole cell phone VR stuff. I know it seems like it's not gonna be as good, and it probably won't be. But like I said before, the rate that technology is accelerating, cell phones are going to be really powerful. I mean, they're already really powerful computers, but they're going to be so much more powerful that it'll be more feasible to have a cell phone VR app or apparatus or something like, say, if it's a PS4 with an Ericsson phone, super powerful Ericsson phone, and that's your PSVR, not the PSVR that they're selling you this year. Something you got to plug into your PS4. It's just a phone that you plug in, you sync it up to your console, boom, you're good to go. You don't have to, it's your phone too, and it's VR, and that's where it's melding two uses like PCs, how PC is a gaming and PC is a utility device and stuff. So I think it's going to be more cell phone VR portable stuff than this blocky connect your head to a freaking box thing.
Yeah, and we could go on and on, but I want to get onto some of the actual games that we feel innovated, that weren't just gimmicks, and they made an impact for us, at least personally. But I think I want to say two things. First, Star Wars Battlefront actually isn't a bad game, but it's something you enjoy in small doses, and that's actually what I want from it. Like, when I play it, I'm immersed in that world, I'm having fun, and I go back to whatever my addiction at the time is.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just not a super great, awesome game. You know,
it's EA. It's EA being EA though. Like, they do this. They water down their games so that you'll buy the DLC and the expansions. And
well, that was the kicker with that game. I was like, it's a $60 game plus $50, $110. I know, and all the good stuff seems to be in that $50 season pass stuff. And I'm like, if all that stuff was in the main game, I'd be like, all right, I get it. But nah, they did that whole the way that they shipped that game and how they not marketed it, but how they sold it was I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
That's an overall problem with the gaming industry, is that the value is being taken out of the core product, and then make us pay for stuff that normal in the old days would have been shipped with the release product. Yeah. And this is why I don't like all this hardware pushing, because it's creating a smokescreen. While we're so excited about virtual reality and all these gimmicks, we're not realizing that we're being fed the same shit over and over again. That's the problem. The other thing I was gonna say is that I'm not saying that these hardware things are bad in themselves. I just want to see more on the software side and the experiences actually enhanced. Like, it just boggles my mind. Like, people rag on Kinect all the time, but there's better ideas and more potential there with Kinect and things like that than there is with virtual reality right now.
Yeah,
because that actually changes how you play the games, and it's more than a gimmick. You know, to me, virtual reality is still a gimmick right now until the software catches up, and that's why I think the difference between innovation and you know, the gimmicks. You know, is it actually creating new experiences, and is it creating opportunities to create those new experiences, or is it just more of the same with a slightly different twist?
Yeah, I think that's one of the important things, like VR and particularly how can it be used outside of games, like for a utilitarian use, whether it's doctors doing surgery or artists painting stuff or whatever. I know AR, like HoloLens, they kind of delved into that, and then they had I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a new. They said, this is how you watch football with HoloLens, and then they showed people with, like, a whole bunch of people with HoloLens. I'm like, they must have a lot of money, but they're sitting around the living room and they look at a coffee table, and then the stadium appears on the coffee table, and you see all the players playing and then they turn it around, and then it was kind of cool.
Yeah, see, augmented reality, now that creates a lot of opportunities for some interesting things.
Right.
That excites me.
Right, and it excites me too, and that's the difference between AR and VR. But I don't want to discount VR all the way, because there's super smart people out there that'll find different ways to use VR other than games, other than what Sony's pushing, other than what Oculus is pushing. So I'm not going to give up on it quite yet, but that's the thing. What else can you do with it besides playing games? And I think that'll be one of the main things. If it can do more than just that, then it will more likely be a successful product, because, you know, you have people who buy it for other reasons than just playing games, because there are more people out there than just gamers.
This is true. This is very true. But one last thing before we go into our feature discussion. I know we're getting close to that point again. We got so much to talk about. But if you want to see a good idea of what AR can be, two games I recommend: Ingress and Zombies Run. There's some really cool things in there that really make you think like these guys are really trying to create new experiences and taking advantage of this technology, not just saying, hey, this is a gimmick we exploit. And that's the kind of stuff that excites me. Like with Ingress, the whole thing with Ingress is that it creates treasures in the real world, and you walk to them to claim these treasures for your faction, and you have these virtual battles. And there's more to it than that. But imagine with like an AR like headset and seeing an overlay and experiencing the real world completely differently. And people probably look at you like you're a crackhead, like walking up to a water fountain and touching it or something. But hey, I mean, hey, that's what happens. But there's potential there. But folks, let's talk about, and actually we're gonna open up the lines, but I think we're running short on time. Just real quick, make sure you leave us those iTunes reviews. I know it's a process, but we'd appreciate those, right, Obi?
We're at 115 right now, man.
I know, but I know we're gonna go deep on this. That's why I'm saying.
Okay.
You know we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it good. But leave those iTunes reviews. The easiest way, sadly, is to install iTunes on your computer and then leave the review there. Yeah, I know it's a terrible thing to ask because the website sucks and not everybody has an Apple device, but that's really the best way to do it. Install the iTunes software. That's what I've been doing, leaving reviews for all my fellow podcasters. And I hate that software, but you got to do it. But otherwise, we have Facebook. Leave us some Facebook messages and stuff. You can tweet us at Obi1X2, at Yogizilla, and at Geeky Antics. Get the website, geekyantics.net. And, of course, the voicemail/SMS line, 646-801-2149. And you know what? Email. That's still relevant. Mail at geekyantics.net. Let's jump into it, guys. The feature discussion. Games that made an impact to us, or that we feel are a good look at what the future of gaming can be. It's part 2 of the discussion. All right. Now, have you guys thought about some of the most memorable games, or games that made the most impact to you? It's the games that have really just lived in your memories and you revisit often, probably in your dreams or something.
I really don't. I really don't have any of those.
No, nothing.
Really?
No dreams? Oh man.
Nothing. Wait,
No,
Obi. Nothing that's made you say, "Man, I wish there were more games like this." There's gotta be at least one. Everybody has their one. I'll let you think about it.
Like I said, let me think about it for a little bit, because there's really not one game that I can say there needs to be more of this.
SG. What about you?
Well, it's well, for when I grew up, when I done growed it up, there was things called arcade places. They were called arcade, and I always tended to gravitate towards I forgot what Sega called them, but they were the sit down, crazy move, flip you upside down machines. Yeah. And that, the arcades really don't exist like they used to in America anyway. Yeah. So that kind of stuff was the jump off for me, that plus Sega. But like moving into like what consoles are, what games are now, it seems that excuse me, the open world bandwagon is going strong and everybody's jumping on it. Yeah. Which is good, because I think there still needs to be a lot of work done in the open world space. Games like, we mentioned this before, Shadow Mordor, where they add, it's an open world game, but the open world kind of sucks. And it's open world, but it's like blech. But the Nemesis system, though, that's nice. Give me that. So you give me Nemesis system in Grand Theft Auto or Skyrim, Fallout, that changes things. And then that's like one little baby step. And then after that, adding AI and stuff. So it's more about like different systems and iterating on different systems and implementing them into what open world games are and will be going forward. and I think it's more about AI stuff than anything else, because my one dream, like I watched the movie Her, and I was like, damn man, if Scarlett Johansson was talking to me, man, Bridget would be so mad, because I'd be talking to my computer all the time, like, why are you talking to that girl? Why are you talking to? Because she understands me. I don't think you understand, Bridget. I'm sorry, I got to talk to, I forgot what, Samantha. That's her name. So it's, yeah, man, it's AI for me right now, but that's like now. That's like knowing what we know now, knowing what
Hold up, SG. Do you remember when the Sound Blasters first came out? The first 16-bit Sound Blasters came out. They had this utility, command line utility called Dr. Sebastian. You remember that?
I don't remember the name, but is that when you could type it in and then make make it talk and stuff?
Yeah, and it was a learning system. It would learn how you talk, how you typed, and it would like pick up certain phrases and respond to you pretty, it was limited. It looked for certain trigger words and phrases, but like that was an early thing, and I'm like, man, like people were trying before, and I agree. Like, why can't we have that AI where it learns your habits? Like I think Obi was talking about. I forgot what game he was talking about, where it learns where you camp. The AI learns where you camp or where you like to hide, and it'll look for you there. If they see you're too aggressive, they'll work. They'll spread out a certain way. If they see you're too laid back, they'll be more aggressive. Stuff like that. Like, that's what we need to see more. I agree. That's why I want to see more of that, of focus on that. But is any of the game in particular where you saw something like that outside of Shadow of Mordor, like that you saw AI like that? It was like, wow, this is pretty smart.
Well, the thing about AI is that we don't notice AI until it's bad AI. I'm like, damn, this game is messed up. But when it's a good game and everything is working, it's like, man, this is a good game, and then this happened and this happened. There's a lot of AI and subroutines and all that stuff happening that you don't notice, or it's smartly implemented. So I would say just a lot of the good games that don't smack you in the face with how dumb the AI is, basically. Because there's so many different games or just so many different genres that would implement the AI kind of differently. Like first person shoot, like Call of Duty is going to implement AI different than, I was going to say, well, Skyrim or open world game is a little different because the routines are different. And you might have a NPC that has a daily routine, and that's AI too, but it's a little bit different. But, anything in particular as of recent, I would say.
It doesn't have to be recent. It could be Seaman. I know you're big on Sega.
Well, Seaman. Seaman was a smoke and mirrors game. It was cool, but I kind of saw through it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of weird. It's more weird than cool, but it was still cool. And I think that was like one of the little baby jump offs. But I mean, here's the thing, right? Seaman came out 14 years ago, maybe 15, 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's 2016. Where is something like that now? You know what I'm saying? Where I know Peter Molyneux was talking about Milo and all that stuff, which was Seaman part version 2 or whatever. But when are they going to be not scared to make a game like that? And I think that's what it is. They're not sure that they can pull it off, so they're not really trying it.
I got another one for you. So AI is a big opportunity, but like when people are still talking about virtual reality and 4K and all, 21.9, all this crap. But what about today's hardware? Still underused. Microphones can be used in fun ways. Better voice detection. There's still more opportunities for that. But how about second screen experiences? Like Dreamcast was killing it. I don't care what anyone says. I may be a fanboy, but the VMUs, that was a smart little idea. Especially when you could take VMUs in certain games and play the game away from the game, or look at your VMU and get a different display. And those things were limited because they weren't high definition displays. But they did a lot of stuff with that. Like with Sonic Adventures, you took your child, put it in the VMU. You could attach your VMU to another VMU and battle your childs with each other. Remember that?
Yeah.
You can train your child, take it walking with you, you know?
Yeah. That was one of the things that Dreamcast did right, you know. But I mean, you know, I think the Nintendo NX might have something like that because they are messing with a little bit of dual console connectivity, or I don't know what the heck they're doing, but the rumors say that the NX is going to be portable and dock station type of thing. So there might be some type of functionality with the NX like that, but I mean, second screen stuff is kind of it's your phone really now because everybody has one. So I think that the trick for developers is to use that wisely, not like Fallout Shelter where it's just like a game that's connected to it, because that works now, but I want to see what they can do further. And the problem with it is, like, if you're sitting down playing a game, you know, you have a controller in your hand, you have to let go of that to mess with your phone, and that's one of the main problems, unless you could put it on the stand and it's like a second display on the side, but then you got to look over to it. So there are inherent problems with that the whole second screen thing in that respect. But like if you do it like a Dreamcast type of deal, that might be all right. And if you utilize the phone, well, see, yeah, it might work. It might work, but it doesn't work in VR. And that's another thing about VR, but
well, see, I see second screen experience as two different things. The second screen experience, the pure second screen experience is when you have another screen to expand your experience while you're playing the game, and then there's like the companion app or the game outside of the game when you're away from the console or your PC, where you can still enjoy some of the content or do things or prepare whatever, you know, in significant ways, and it's still something that's really underused. Now, Obi.
Yep.
Did you think of something yet?
Like I said, man, I really don't. I'm sorry.
No. I'm gonna put it in spot. Didn't want you to feel left out.
No. I'm just listening to you guys talk.
But I want to
revisit.
You're
pretty good at it, so. You know.
Well, I got some Sega stuff to go back to, because we squeezed it in last show, and these games really deserve a little more love. We talked about Dragon Force and Panzer Dragoon Saga and Guardian Heroes, and I want to pick apart some of the core mechanics and some of the things that we like to see built upon in new franchises, or maybe, you know, spiritual successors or actual sequels, right? So with Guardian Heroes, a lot of people, I feel like people either really love this game or they hate it. Right. And I think this game is amazing because how many 4-player cooperative kind of dungeon crawlers, well, I guess, yeah, you might call that, or let's call it action RPG. It's definitely action RPG, right?
Yeah.
How many do you have where there's a combo system, like Marvel vs. Capcom style, like getting 30-hit combos and shit? And then on top of that, there's branching storylines.
Yeah.
Mind you, the game wasn't that long if you took certain paths, but the replay value, insane.
Yeah, I think that's a game a game like that, like those type of games. Is there another game like Guardian Heroes out? Because I don't know of
There's
any.
one, I think it's called Code of Princess, something weird like that on the DS, I believe, or 3DS. It's like one of those like Japanese games that was imported, that was localized, but didn't get a lot of like fanfare. It's like a critical darling, but not many people talking about it. I hear that's the closest thing to it. They had a Guardian Heroes sequel on the Game Boy Advance or something. It was nothing like the original though. So there's still, I would still say there's nothing like this out there. On top of that, pretty much every character you encounter in that game, you can unlock to become a playable character. And they have their own movesets and everything, their own spells and combos. It's crazy.
Dude, man, imagine if Street Fighter 7 was like that, like where you have all the characters with all their movesets, and y'all just you're walking through the town, and then you come up against 5 M Bisons, and y'all just start fighting, and you jump up and through the screen, and come on, son, back in the
Yeah.
day, before Guardian Heroes came out, I was like, man, if they had a game where you would fight a game and you could just walk around and it was like an adventure game, but you would fight when you would meet, you would actually fight like a fighting game, that'd be cool. And then they made the game and I was like, oh, okay, there you go. But they haven't done anything past that. And I'm like, why not?
Yo, and on top of that, you had an AI companion that you could control, like give him commands, and he would do his own thing. Like, that game is surprisingly deep, yo. Like, and if you don't know how to do good combos and like how to work together as a team, like some of those boss battles were crazy, man. No matter how leveled up you were, dude. If they take that and take it like a step further, better AI, make the game bigger in scope, like more longer and more paths you could take. You know, a bigger cast of characters, and maybe add like loot drops. If they add loot drops, just loot drops alone, where you can gear out and then save your characters and like go, yo, son.
Yep.
Diablo. People be like, Diablo, what? What?
Yeah.
Street Fighter, what?
Yeah. I mean, people. The thing is, like, the way the industry is. Of course, they're gonna go for the safe route. So that's why you get a whole bunch of first person shooters and stuff. But eventually we'll get it'll probably be an indie developer who does it. But you know, they're the guys who are. That's why I'm glad indie games are so strong right now, because they're the guys who are taking chances, and they're quote unquote innovating. You know, they're doing things that the big safe guys won't do.
Yep.
So,
and I honestly think the future of gaming is in the indie industry. Because the big studios, you know, I'll buy 3 to 5 major releases a year from the big studios, but then most of my other stuff is indie, straight up.
Yeah.
Because I like the freshness of it. Yo, but I'm gonna tell you right now, guys. If anyone out there loves Guardian Heroes and wants to see something like that, I mean, I love the fact that they came out with the remix, the HD remix on 360, and it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Whew, that made me so happy.
It is?
I'm pretty sure it is. I remember seeing it on my queue. Maybe I'm bugging.
Ooh.
I need to double check, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on there. Because that's the game I'd be willing to revisit. Oh, man. But I'm telling you right now, you could do the music, I'll do the design, and if I get another developer to help me out, because I just don't have the time. But if I had the time, I would develop this game myself, and then we might probably need a good graphics guy, because I could draw, but my skills are, oh, wait, you could draw too, son?
Yeah. Well, I know an artist. He'll be the tester. No, I know an artist, dude, who's actually... quick side note: the same artist.
Graphics are the most expensive part of development right now, I would say.
Yeah. But the same artist guy that I'm working with now, I worked with on the last game, so we're kind of moving through games. But.
It's very doable, dude. Because from a development perspective, it's not that hard to develop. The hardest part is getting a good collision detection engine set up. Yeah. You know, that's the foundation. A nice combo system that's fluid, it feels tight, responsive, right? And then storyboarding all the different levels and the different paths you could take. And then if you actually have a real like story, you have to actually, you know, plot that out, the narrative and all the dialogue and all that. That's resource intensive. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, but with like Unity and UE4,
Unity's yeah.
Yeah, I mean that would make it a little bit. Well, I don't know if it would make it a little bit easier, but it's definitely more accessible for anybody to do it now, like versus back in the day when they originally released Guardian Heroes, when they had to build all that stuff by themselves.
Yep.
So it's doable, definitely doable, but like you said, it's not an easy thing to do.
It's just carving out of time. See, my cat's getting excited about it. She's like, meow, let's do it. Meow, meow.
I remember when that little cat was all little and cute. Now she sounds like.
Oh yeah, you remember? Yes, I remember. She was a little tiny cat. She would sit on my shoulders at times. She still does it. Yeah. Now she's big. Yeah. I'm like, you can't be staying up there. My back is bad. But dude, all right, we're gonna move on because I'm getting some, you know, fanboy, you know, nerdgasm over here. But you know that's something that like I'm aching for it because I love PvP, I really do, but I want to see more PvE stuff, you know, multiplayer stuff where the toxicity is thrown aside and you can just work together, have fun, and enjoy a game together and not be worried about like, oh, you got us killed, and then nah. It gets too serious sometimes, you know, with a multiplayer game because it's all so competitive. Like, I want a game where you just beat little NPCs up and be like, yeah, take that, sucker.
Yeah, I think there's some value in the arcade, quote unquote, arcade style games. Now they're called
Yeah.
casual, whatever. But
Yeah, that's
you know,
true. That's true. Now that's
yeah,
casual. Like you filthy
yeah,
casual. But yeah, that was the arcade experience. Was a game where you just jumped in and you just enjoyed it. It's just I don't know. It's like an essence that's been lost. Like that's just that fast paced, super enjoyable experience. You know, like you keep going back to, and it never loses its luster really.
yeah. Well, with the expansion of the internet, and social media, everything's become social. So games, social, everything's had to be multiplayer, and I think one of the trends this generation is that they're making games that are multiplayer only, and I think they jumped the gun on that. But
I don't have
but
a problem with
besides,
that.
I mean, I don't have a problem with multiplayer games only, but not everyone was ready for it. Just like no one was ready for having to buy a Kinect, and no one was ready for whatever else Microsoft did wrong.
Yeah.
But as far as like keeping on topic, like the innovations, as I was looking up at my games, and one game I remember that had something really cool that was a tech thing that isn't super. And I mean, they've done it. Obviously, it was L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire. Now, it wasn't the game per se or the story or anything, but it was how they captured the faces and the performance capture, the facial capture, really, because all they did was capture the face and they stuck it on another body. And I was looking at this, and I'm like, I'm playing this game, and like I'm like interviewing the character, and they're like giving me like a funny look, and they're doing like little gestures and stuff, and I'm getting information from just looking. That was the first game that did that, where you would get information from a person's reaction to a question or a statement or something like that. And I haven't seen it in another game since.
Oblivion did something to that degree, but not they did
you
it,
bet
but
you-
not the degree.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot tell me Oblivion. Come on, son.
Yeah,
You see
when
them.
you-
You
when
see
you
them
watch-
faces
you watch the
in
face-
Oblivion. Come on, son.
It wasn't to the
They're
same
the
degree.
ugliest people
I
on
know.
the video game. Yo,
Yeah.
Bethesda, as good as their open world stuff is, they make some ugly MP. Well, I'll say Fallout 4 is getting a little better. But nope, there's some
faces,
ugly.
yeah.
Oh man, it's so
The
ugly.
faces be busted, but it wasn't as detailed as LA Noir, but they still had the right idea where you had to pick up on that body language, and I like that. I think that's a really good concept. Like we have that's a good use of graphics. We have the graphics, then put them to good use. Like have those little subtleties, because that's good stuff.
And it's not impossible. It's just the technique that they use. But I mean that's a specific type of use, because it's not, you can't really do that throughout every NPC and every instance, because it doesn't make sense in a different type of game. So for LA Noire, where you're investigating and you're asking questions and stuff, doing the interrogations, that's where it makes sense, and that's where it worked out. But I would like to see that tech, like, could it be used? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of another game that could use that, unless there was just a specific type of mission in like a GTA where you had to do some snooping around detective work or something. Then that could be implemented, but how expensive would that be and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe in a new Mass Effect, because those are kind of detective games in a way.
I think even MMOs can take advantage of that kind of feature, because a lot of quests you do in MMOs are just binary decisions, and you don't really feel invested in them. People just click through the dialogue. They don't feel any immersion. They don't feel tied down or connected to anything at all. Like it's just like, just keep pushing A or keep pressing Enter, keep pressing space, and move along, because there's nothing really to them. But if you have to actually pay attention to subtleties like that, then people may actually like enjoy the experience a little more. But I got some more games. I'm gonna I'm gonna machine gun. We'll put these out there, and then I'm gonna see if any of these hit home for any of you. So we're gonna go through the list real quick here. Laser Squad for PC. Tajel's Mercenaries for PC. Battletoads, Double Dragon 3.
Battletoads. Wait. Okay, so
we'll come back to it. Keep it in your back pocket. We'll come back to it. I'm gonna throw Dungeon of the Endless out there because I have to. I'm gonna keep that little running gag going. Alone in the Dark, the original, not the one on 360. Though I actually like that one. I'm weird. Wolfenstein, again original. Quake, Oregon Trail, Desert Commander, and Command and Conquer. Now we're talking about these games from the perspective of not necessarily they were the best of their class, but that they had aspects that we would like to see built upon. You know, like you mentioned Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor. You didn't really like the game as much, but you liked that system. All right, so you're gonna mention Battletoads. That one stood out for you? Is that the only one that stood out for you?
Well, I was wondering what about Battletoads was standout-ish, because I know it was just kind of a 2D platformer. Not really a platformer. It's just
brawler, I would say.
2D side-scroller brawler. Yeah. Where you had the big fist come out and your big foot come out. I mean, I played through the arcade version, and I tried to play the NES version on the rear replay, and I was like, nope, not playing. Nope. I stopped. I couldn't get. I got to the bike, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
The bike is where a lot of people stop because that's an example of terrible difficulty progression.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It goes from challenging to what the fuck, and then you're like, I'm done.
Yep.
Most people didn't see past that level, sadly. But, you know, there's a lot of things I like about this game. And nostalgia aside, I do feel like the game holds up well, but I think people will enjoy it more if they have an experience with it. Going back to it years later, you know, over 2 decades later, you know, well over 2 decades later, it's rough. But I know there were a lot of brawlers. That was kind of like the popular genre of the time, you know. You had Streets of Rage later on, and you had Double Dragon, and brawlers were all over the place, right? But, you know, Final Fight, I mean, you could go on and on. But what I like about it, this game had personality. Like, the level design, they put a lot of attention in each of the levels. Each level had its own kind of challenge and different mechanics to pick up on. And it did a good job, usually, of easing you into the mechanics so you would know what to expect and be ready for it. With the exception of the rat race. You know, which is a kind of metaphor and some kind of sick irony there. But anyway, you know, and the boss battles were fun. It had enough puzzle solving to keep you challenged, but not too much. You know, a little bit of platforming, you know, a little bit of puzzle solving, but they focused on the action. I don't know, something about that game, the way they took such a simple system, but they added just enough depth to it, you know, like, it has such an impact to me. Like, I actually enjoy Battletoads more than you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, even though that's a phenomenal game itself. Because I like the way the fighting system worked out, and the little added effects they do, like the little particle effects, you know, the 8-bit particle effects, you know, little stars and little things that would happen. Something about it, like, they did right, and I think a game like that, like Battletoads, falls into what Nintendo's good at, and that's adding personality or having personality in your games, and just this kind of a solid just a game mechanic. Even though it's simple, it's just easy to pick up and it's easy to understand. It's like, it's not innovative, and it's not anything that I don't think isn't being replicated today, but damn, your cat's loud. But it's out of control right now.
Yeah. But you know, it's you're speaking on more of game design and art design and stuff like that, as opposed to innovation. And no, they're definitely
just overall impact, you know. I feel like
but those the combination of like the art style and the humor of the game and the little touches they added to it to just push it over the edge from being just a regular okey doke beat 'em up. And there are games out there that are like that. I mean, new games that just like not Thomas is alone. Yarny, what's that game called? I
Am Bread.
No, not I Am Bread. It's coming out. I think it's coming out next week or next month or something like that. The yarny game with the red cat that's made of yarn and he's walking around. I heard an interview about it. Unraveled.
Unraveled. Yeah. I haven't looked too much into that.
Yeah, I mean that's a known quantity where it's a side-scrolling platforming adventure type of game, but it's not about that. That's how you make it through the actual meat of the game, and the meat of the game is more of a narrative. I don't know what the narrative is, but there are different narrative not cues, but themes in that game that reflect on everyday life and everyday people, and that's why I think that game's going to do really well, because a lot of people are going to relate to it because of what it is and what it's what heartstrings it's tugging at, basically. And
I have to look more into that. It looks like it has potential, and from what we're talking about, it sounds like something we should have on our radar. When is that slated for release, though?
I don't know if I don't think it's next week. I think it's early next month.
Okay.
March.
Damn.
Yeah, March 8th or something like that. It's early next month, I think.
You just made me think of a game that if they deliver on the potential there, I think it's going to have a huge impact. That game, Recore, what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah. See, I don't know what that game is, and that's the thing, and I'm excited about it. I'm like, if you're the girl, and then you have the little ball that turns into a dog and it turns into a big ape gorilla thing. That's cool. So the mechanic is cool. The potential for the mechanic is cool. But I want to see what it is. Is it going to be a side scroller 2.5D? Is it going to be actually 3D? Is it going to be third person, first person? There's a lot of questions. So that's going to dictate a lot of things. But staying on topic, the art style and the story, like a good story and an excellent art style and all these things smashed together into a known quantity also makes for a memorable game that you're just like, wow, that's the best game ever, and that's important too. I don't want to just look past that and say, oh, it's all about the new stuff, the techity tech stuff. You got it, all the things, the foundations of all these games. There was a first Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers was like the first. I don't know if it was the first, but it was the first that did it well. And moving on from there till now, and it's still relevant. It's still important. So, yeah.
The thing that I think that Recore looks like it's gonna really tug at your heartstrings. When I look at it, my imagination wandered off, and I'm picturing it as a game where you scavenge for parts and you build companions because you're in a lonely world that's like destitute from some kind of, I don't know, apocalyptic level event. That's what I made up in my mind. I'm like, ooh, I get to build robots, because that's not something you don't see too often either. Like, there's a few games that have done it, but like one of the games that I remember, old school, Cyborg Justice. Some people say it was a terrible game, but you get to build your robots and then fight with them, There's something like that now, Mech Warrior Online, but that's more on the simulation side. But, I think that's like that deep level, that deep customization, like, it's funny that I'll play a game like Van Helsing, and I'm blown away by the fact that when I change what I'm equipping, my character actually looks different. Because that's something you take for granted now. Like, games still don't do that sometimes. A lot of the time, like, it's like, really? Like, this is a simple thing for you to do.
Yeah. Dude, I never thought too much of Recore because I didn't know too much about it. But you just said something like, if you can build your own robot like that, a whole crafting mechanic built around your companion, that would be awesome. If they did that, I would be like, yep. And also, I just thought of it. The main character, I don't know what the character's name, but the girl who's a scavenger in the desert, does that remind you of a certain popular character that just happened recently? Yeah, I think so.
It makes me think of a lot of things.
Well, for me, it makes me think of Star Wars, Force Awakens. It makes me think of Rey, who is a very popular, strong female character right now. So inadvertently, I don't know if it's inadvertently or it was on purpose, but there can be a parallel to that archetype, I guess, of character where she's a strong female character in the desert, scavenging things. I guess that's a new archetype.
You know, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I want this game to succeed, but not merely because it has a strong narrative and a strong female lead. Those are wonderful things. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted people to say at the end of the day that game was fun to play. Because I'm tired of people judging games like Last of Us, and they're like, "Oh, it's such a great game. Why is it great? What a great story." I'm like, then make it a fucking movie.
Yeah, yeah. I watched The Last of Us on Twitch, I think it was. Yeah. And I was like, I don't need to play that because I just watched the whole thing. I watched the end. I was like, okay, good, I'm done.
Unremarkable gameplay, great to watch.
Yeah, and that's the thing because I was watching the gameplay. I was supposed to watching the cutscenes, and I was like, okay, it's a game and stuff, but I couldn't. How long is that game? You doing that? And then I watched the multiplayer. I was like, oh hell no, I would not. Nope. Nope. No. I wasn't watching. Well, I did watch the multiplayer, but it was a part towards the end where it was just like the doors locked, kloosh, and then just a whole bunch of mushroom heads come out of everywhere. I'm like, what? Nope. That's like Halo 5, man. Come on, son.
See, and I know we're gonna start wrapping up soon, but you mentioned Halo 5. That's another thing. Like we talked about level design earlier. Like I hear from so many people that Halo 5 campaign is just the room simulator. You clear out a room and then it opens up another area, and it's so formulaic. Like you remember, like before with such limited hardware, such limited possibilities, people used to really take the level designer used to really take their time. You can see they pour their souls into level design. Now it's kind of like, here you go. I use a random generator, and here's the level.
I think people are exaggerating. I think Halo 5 is just like all the other Halo games. The problem is that gamers are evolving to want more, basically. So if you give them the same stuff, like, oh, is this again? I mean, at certain parts, yeah, it is that, but you get to other parts like I forgot what it's called, but it's a snow area and it's a big open sandbox, and you got to go and destroy these like beacons or whatever. I forgot what you had to do, but it reminds me of the earlier Halo games where it's a big open sandbox and you're Scorpion and you're blowing stuff up. It's just like that. There's a lot of vehicles and stuff. So it's Halo, but I think that style is a little bit it's not antiquated, but they need to do something more to make people be like, oh man, did you see that part or whatever? And I mean, it might be part of it might be the actual design of the space, but I think part of it is also the Call of Duty effect where they've put all these kind of set pieces and smashed them in there and tied them all together nice and neat. So it doesn't seem like it's a little area here and a little area there. They'll tie not a cutscene, but an event with the actual area, and it feels like it's not a room with guys you have to kill and then keep it moving. And the thing is some games hide it better than others because every game, that's what every game is basically. If you look at a map, like not like the final graphics, but if you just take it down to just primary shapes and stuff, it's a room. And there's an enemy here, and an enemy here, and an enemy here, and that's why you have people building maps, because that's all it is a map with enemies in it. So as every game,
I agree. There's some of it's just plain lazy, and I got the hiccups. Excuse me, but it just feels like it's a lot of the stuff you could tell, and I think gamers are finally realizing when stuff is uninspired and just lazy. Yeah. So. I don't know. I haven't played Halo 5 personally. I've just seen it played, and it looks like it has some opportunities. But the multiplayer looks amazing.
No, the multiplayer is really, really good. The problem with the single player, the campaign, is that it was kind of a bait and switch, like the whole ad campaign, and it's really more locked than Master Chief, but it's still good.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I think it's the best. I still think it's like one of the best Halos overall.
And to be honest, I'm not playing Halo for the campaign personally.
I am. I don't care about I am.
Yeah, I'm not that big into the mythos. I'm more about the multiplayer experience. Good lord, my hiccups are like Coming back with vengeance.
The cat's gone and the hiccups come. That's what happens.
Yep, this is gonna be one of those nights. Obi, you still alive over there?
I sure am. Just listening to you guys talk.
Well, I know we gotta wrap up, but you like the RTS games? Did you ever have a good run with Command and Conquer or Desert Commander or any of the early RTS games?
I did. Command and Conquer. The biggest one that I played that I really, really enjoyed was Generals. The first one, like the first, old.
Well, Generals is a little more recent, yeah.
Yeah, but there was a new one. There was an older one too. I don't think it was called Generals, but it was like it was one of the versus. One of the first times they were talking about red versus blue, kind of treating them like colors as opposed to the actual names or whatever.
I think I know what you're talking about. For me, like one of the biggest things with Command and Conquer is that they took simple ideas and made them better. Like they kept fine tuning the pathing, because if you have bad pathing in an RTS, it's the worst. Because your little soldiers just commit suicide. You're like, no, don't go that way. Or they made the scatter button so you can spread your guys out and they wouldn't be clustered up and end up getting nuked easily, right? Like I think RTS is one of the few spaces where there's been a lot of innovation. From going from Command and Conquer or Herzog Zwei. To what we have today. Like the 4X games are just amazing in scope. Like it's crazy what they have out there now. RTS is actually moving forward, I would say, and tactics games like the XCOM style games or Satellite Rain type games. I think they're doing a lot of stuff to move those things forward.
Oh, that's another thing. Real quick, speaking of XCOM and those type of games, the one thing I noticed about the Division, going back to that I liked was like when you're in cover and it shows like the line and it shows you where your cover points are. Like if you press, I was like, yo, I kind of like that, and that's what we're talking about, where you're taking an element of older games and putting it into the new games. Open world, MMO. Third-person shooter, and then you add that little element of the little movement type, and I'm like, I kind of like that, and it's just a little thing, but it's something that, like, that might be the thing that make me go out and get that game.
Yeah, it's like, even if it's just little changes, the fact that they're building upon it in significant ways is important. When you see, because a lot of time we're seeing that now is just regurgitated stuff with facelifts. It's the same turd, but it's a slightly shinier turd. And I keep using the same metaphor, but it works. So the Division, you can see little touches they have here and there. That's like, this is kind of like the Gears of War, cover system. But they added that little thing with the lines, so it makes it easy to see where you're gonna run to or where you'll end up and how you can maneuver the obstacles. Yeah, I like that a lot. But I think it's time to wrap up, right, Obi?
It is, unfortunately. Guys, if you guys have any thoughts about anything that we talked about tonight, you guys can send us a voicemail, 646-801-2149. You guys can send us some mail, email at mail@geekyantics.net. So make sure HorsePLAY Live is everywhere you can listen to or download awesome podcasts, including allgames.com, Player FM, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Please take a few minutes out to thumbs up, favorite, subscribe, and share. Even better, we'd love some comments and reviews, guys. We really want those comments and reviews. It's quick, it's easy, it really helps us out. Huge thanks to all those that are promoting our content. Every little bit helps. Really appreciate it. You guys like Eye Candy. We do YouTube and Twitch. YouTube.com/geekyantics, and then of course the highlight here at twitch.tv/geekyantics. Here on Geeky Antics Network, in collaboration with All Games Radio Network, we have tons of shows that we cover, in a wide spectrum of topics. We can't possibly plug them all because we'd be here for another hour. So if you guys want to check out your favorite show, geekyantics.net/schedule. You can also see our flagship show over on Twitch profile and our aggregate feed over at geekyantics.net/podcasts. Why they're not in the same, I don't know. Don't forget, guys, all our intro, our music that we do for HorsePLAY Live and a lot of our shows is provided by TechnoAxe, royalty free. That's Techno with a K. You go check him out, technoaxe.com. He's got a lot of cool stuff that a little bit for everybody. So, any last words there, Mr. SG?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah. You can find me everywhere. Lord SG on Instagram. Yeah. R9Cast on everything else, basically. So reservoir9.com/R9Cast. If you want the archives, just the MP3s, the RSSs of the R9Cast show, and allgames.com, R9C. Allgames.com/R9C, I believe is the direct link for that. And I want to plug one quick thing real quick, and that's the game I'm working on, which is called Junk ET, and I'm doing music soundtrack. But most importantly, we need green light votes for that game so that we can get up on green light and do things. So, yeah, just go to Greenlight and look up Junk ET game, I think, or just Junk ET. It should pop up, and just click the button and say, yeah, make it good and stuff.
Junk
and
ET?
Yes, Junk ET.
I have to get a preview copy before I can do that.
Yeah, well, there's a beta, actually, not a beta, alpha. So if you go to junketgame.com, you can sign up for the beta, the alpha. I keep saying beta. You create an account on the site, and then they'll send you a beta key code jammy thing, and then you can try it out.
You can guarantee that?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Because we need people to try it out and give us feedback and stuff. So, and the guys are always putting up new builds of the game. So it's always interesting to see a new build and see like new weapons and new levels and stuff they implement. So it's all good. But yeah.
Yogi, how about you, sir? Where can everybody find you?
Me? I'm Yogizilla everywhere without the hiccup. Steam, Twitter, Xbox Live. Yeah. Tumblr, Instagram. I miss Instagram? Yeah. I'm on all that stuff. And I got hiccups, and it's pretty annoying.
I don't really remember where I'm at, but if you guys look it up, Obi1X2. If I'm there, I'm there. Hit me up. But guys, if you guys listening to us on allgames.com, the Deck Pixel Live Power Ranking Show is up, followed by Knuckleballer Radio at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, remember that our friends, the B-Team Podcast, they moved to Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on our unofficial sister network, All Games Radio Network. Again, guys, thank you guys. It's been HorsePLAY Live, February 4th, or 5th now. But we will see you guys next week. Later.
Later, taters.
Peace.
Play the damn music. Right now. Again, guys, thank you very much for